Dr. Merlin Butler is today's undergraduate commencement speaker. He is a professor and director of the Division of Research and Genetics in the Departments of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences and Pediatrics at the University of Kansas Medical Center, and the director of the KU Medical Center Genetics Clinic. He is engaged in clinical genetics practice and uses advanced genetics testing approaches for identifying genetic variants. He attended Chadron State College and graduated in 1974 with a Bachelor of Arts in Education, and a year later with a Bachelor of Science majoring in biology pre-medicine. Butler received a Distinguished Service Award from CSC in 1986. He earned a medical degree from the University of Nebraska in 1978 and a doctorate in medical genetics from Indiana University in 1984. Following his doctoral work, he completed an American Board of Medical Genetics accredited fellowship in medical genetics, became a diplomat of the American Board of Medical Genetics, and a founding fellow of the American College of Medical Genetics and Genomics. He has received numerous awards and honors, including the Prader-Willi Syndrome Association, USA Lifetime Achievement Award in 2008, and Distinguished Service Award in 2019, and the KU Medical Center Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences Service Award in 2017. Dr. Butler is the Associate Editor for the Frontiers of Genetics, a member of medical advisory boards for several rare disease organizations, and a member of several federal, regional, and local grant review committees. I am proud to invite Dr. Merlin Butler to the podium to deliver the commencement address.
Thank you very much for this distinguished honor. I'd like to also thank President Ryan for this warm introduction and greetings. Special thanks also to him and the faculty and committee for inviting me to be part of this momentous occasion. It means a great deal to me to take part in your celebration, since I do have a powerful connection here in the past. Close to 50 years ago, I was on the other side of this microphone as a CSC student sitting where you are today. And I clearly remember the feeling of accomplishment and pride that must be experiencing now that you must have. So today, my heartiest congratulations go to you graduates and to your families and friends who support your efforts and who share your joy right now. It is indeed a fantastic achievement that we celebrate today, your graduation. Congratulations to you, Chadron State class of 2021, and also we have members of the class of 2020 here as well. Congratulations to all. You are likely to always remember your commencement, and well, you should, but almost everyone in the country, if not the world, will remember your year, the class of 2021, as we hope to return to a new normal, like other events have impacted this country and world. The world will never forget the class of the year 1941, forever linked to the attack on Pearl Harbor. The world will never forget the class of the year 2001, forever linked with the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center. Your accomplishments will be especially memorable for you for many reasons, not the least of which is due to the unprecedented environment in which it happened, the historic pandemic that brought our great country to a near standstill and threatened the health and welfare of all of us. Thankfully, COVID-19 vaccine is here, and many of us have received the vaccination, allowing us to meet in person today. As we've seen other graduates in the past face concerns, polio outbreaks, world wars, financial collapse, global flu, Cold War, Middle East crisis, and conflicts. In spite of those external events, or perhaps heightened by them, those graduates will always remember their graduation day. As well will you. It is an important milestone on your life's journey. As I present this talk today entitled Life's Milestones and Journey to Career Development, I want to go through the process and conclude my 15, maybe 20 minutes, Dr. Ryan, discuss what has happened in my life over time that has directed me into the career I have chosen and the success that has been result as being a student at CSC. Is in fact that everyone's life journey has its own milestones. Mine did, and so will yours. What are those milestones? You might picture the milestones that the ancient Romans placed along their highways over 2,000 years ago. Small stones with numerals carved on their faces, planted beside the road. They could have been the first to do that. As a traveler walked or rode along, those milestones would mark the distance to the next village or town, or how far they've come from the starting place. Today, we use our modern version of milestones along the major interstate highways. They are called mile markers, but serve the same purpose as the Roman-era milestones. So our milestones have come to mean even more than just a distance traveled. These milestones are special occasions and special events that mark key points on our life's journey. And those are milestones of a higher order. On that basis, it is clear that you've had other milestones along your journey before now, important birth dates, such as allowing you to drive and drink legally, grade school awards and honors, first dates, high school sports achievements, high school graduation, and so on. Those are milestones. The milestones in your life are quite apparent as you pass them, but your life's journey is somewhat more difficult to define. Every journey has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Your journey might include the selection of a career, a profession, or simply a type of work that appeals to you. Some of you have known what you want your life to be, your life's work, for a long time. Others haven't decided, but are willing to see where the journey takes them next. But this milestone today is very special. Your graduation from Chadron State represents 4 years of hard work, tough classes, early mornings, late nights, and finals. It is what once was called higher learning. And so it is, rightfully so. You can now bask in the special glow of your achievement. Special congratulations are in order. Interestingly, although your graduation marks a finish and a conclusion to one phase, it is also called a commencement. From here, you will commence with the rest of your life. You will have milestones in the past and milestones in the future and decisions ahead to make. Some will be easy decisions, others will not. And it might amaze you that even though it was in the dark ages of the 1970s, I clearly remember how I felt when I graduated here in the commencement class in 1975. That was a long time ago, but today it seems like yesterday. But I had earlier milestones just as you must have had. I was born and raised in the Sandhills in north central Nebraska and lived outside of Stewart with a population of approximately 600. The whole area was sparsely populated, agriculture-based, and a hard place to make a living. We lived 9 miles from town, and life was simple, with few distractions but work, school, and attending to chores. We were expected to attend to tasks required on the farm, milking cows and separating cream, feeding livestock, gathering and trading eggs for groceries, planting and harvesting crops, and putting up hay during the summer, and opening snow drifts to feed the cattle in the winter and clear the country roads for our semi-monthly to monthly trips to town. But we made time to hunt and fish in Sandhill Lakes and still consider myself to be an avid fisherman in my spare time. My education began in a one-room country schoolhouse, along with about 5 other students located about 3.5 miles from home. And on occasion, I rode a horse to school. In the 4th grade, I had what I now recognize as a real milestone. I checked out a book on the discovery of insulin during my once-a-month school trip with a teacher to the town's library. After reading and rereading every page of that book, I decided then and there to become a scientist in the 4th grade. On this, your day, I'm just presenting a glimpse of my personal early life's journey as an example of what might lie ahead for you or what events may have occurred in your life that kindled an interest for your potential career choice to pursue. Just as you experienced one milestone here today, are about to experience more in the future, I've had a number of those milestones on my journey to learning about biology, science, and research from those earliest days. There was my elementary school graduation of the one-room country schoolhouse and my interest in biology and learning. Graduation made me happy and nervous at the same time. After all, I was headed to Stewart High School in a brand new environment. Most of my country school friends were a thing in the past. It was a milestone. Stewart High School was a large school to me, since its total enrollment was close to 75 students. There were 17 in my graduating class, and I had not had anyone in my class throughout elementary school. But in high school, there came new friends, school dances, sports, and real laboratories, where we could engage in science experiments. High school graduation was another milestone, but additional learning and research was still my goal. Graduation occurred here at Chadron State twice with a BA and a BS degree, where I received excellent guidance about a career in research and biology with mentoring from my CSC biology professors. During my time at CSC, I participated as a teaching and research assistant engaged in biology and laboratory research and principles. Fortunately, I was able to present research findings on the classification and genetics of native plants from the Pine Ridge at scientific meetings in Lincoln, as well as published in scientific journals as an undergraduate. Opportunities that most undergraduate students would not have had an opportunity at other colleges or universities, so I was fortunate. With success in academic performance and research publications, my goal to become a medical researcher continued, with acceptance to medical school at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. I continued my education and clinical training in medical genetics after receiving my MD and became board certified in clinical genetics and clinical cytogenetics in the new medical discipline of medical genetics, where I became a founding fellow of the American College of Medical Genetics. I later received my PhD in medical genetics at Indiana University. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, did this guy ever get out of school? Well, the short answer is yes. But I've continued to learn about in every way I can and in every form imaginable. I have worked as a physician scientist for the past 40 years in academic medicine at 5 separate universities in Indiana, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and now Kansas. My work has allowed me to travel the world to participate in research and clinical genetic meetings as an organizer, lecturer, or presenter of new research findings and discoveries. My rewards for all this time and energy allowed me to succeed in a career of my choice in medical genetics and research, which included helping patients presenting with unexplained problems and conditions whereby rare and common genetic disorders were diagnosed and at-risk families identified. Learning from my patients have inspired me to research and discover new concepts, improve treatment options, and develop clinical trials. I have been able to teach and mentor students and faculty members, generate and publish over 500 manuscripts on research discoveries, book chapters, and textbooks used by physicians, other healthcare providers, scientists, students, and patients about medical and laboratory genetics, delineation of rare conditions, and related medical disorders. This all began with a foundation of learning and dedication as a student at CSC. As an aside, I am pleased to see the renovations and new addition to the Science and Math building, where I spent many hours and needed for the next generation of students to succeed. I applaud Dr. President Ryan for success in undertaking the renovations of this new building. Remember my 4th grade milestone or goal to become a medical researcher? I've had that dream and goal for becoming a medical researcher for a very long time. Luckily, that goal fell within my capabilities, as long as I worked at it. Here comes the first of the obligatory advice that a commencement speaker is supposed to provide. Honored graduates, as you choose your life's work, choose wisely. Choose something that you love. And as the saying goes, you never work a day in your life. That doesn't mean that you won't have failures, requiring corrections or adjustments to meet your goals. But if you strive for success, you will face those challenges with an attitude to succeed. You won't mind long hours and hard work. And in order for you to keep forging ahead, you have to recognize that the world and every field of endeavor in it is also on a journey. As we've seen, changes are happening all around us. Interesting note, in the 1982 book, Critical Path, the noted futurist and inventor Buckminster Fuller estimated that up to the start of the 20th century, or 1900, human knowledge doubled approximately every century. By 1945, at the end of World War II, it was doubling every 25 years. By 1982, just past my graduation here at Chadron State College, knowledge was doubling every 12 to 13 months. This year, IBM estimates that knowledge and information will double every 12 hours. And at the conclusion of my presentation, we would have gleaned another 3% of knowledge in 20 minutes. Now, are you glad that you caught up with all the knowledge explosion as an undergraduate, graduate student from Chadron State College? But what disciplines are we experiencing the knowledge explosion? And who does it affect? I said it affects all of us. Every one of us will be affected by this knowledge explosion. Today, high schools and colleges are ramping up their curriculum in the STEAM disciplines. That is, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. That's a recognition. As the knowledge in each academic discipline expands, the practitioners must race to keep up. And when you watch closely, you'll see that from time to time, the knowledge and products of each of these disciplines collide. When they collide, the collision can impact on your own journey. My life's journey in medical field and research was always impacted by new discoveries and advances in technology. I have to admit, it's hard to stay abreast of the flow of information and the new developments in all fields. As I proceeded in my life's journey, technology began doubling with new ideas. My old manual typewriters of my early school days had been replaced by IBM Selectrics, an office machine easy to use, but still very difficult to correct when major changes need to be made. Ask your parents about whiteout and crack tape. But remember, up to my graduation date, personal computers hadn't been invented, and calculators were large and bulky, but could do little more than add, subtract, and divide. But we science majors and engineering students did have experience in wooden and plastic slide rules, an apparatus that allowed us to perform calculations faster than with pencil and paper. The mobile phone that we carry with us every day wasn't even a dream in 1975. Our telephones were dial landlines with an occasional very expensive car telephone. And when we needed to look up articles, we had to go to the library. There was no Google, and certainly no iPad. So what would technology's advances and new milestones mean to you in your journey in the future? They will certainly affect your way of achieving your dream and goal. Since the Civil War, medical science has been noting its own milestones too. Some of them have come in the last few years. Discovery of antibiotics, imaging, x-rays, MRIs, PET scans, tissue culture and cell research, anesthesia, sanitation, clean water, and sewage disposal. Vaccines, very important now during the COVID-19 pandemic. Computer technology, robotic surgery, DNA structure and function. Almost every one of those milestones was aided and abetted by new technology. Today, the medical world is on the cusp of a new milestone. We are struggling to convert patient records to electronic files in a central repository computer system where they can be accessed from anywhere on earth by patient and medical personnel alike. That's a great advance, but it has a big impact right now on physicians as they proceed on their journey. Physicians are spending as much as 6 hours a day on their computers, and concerns have been raised that some physicians concentrate on data entry so intently they make little eye contact with the patient during the clinic visit. Centralized, accessible patient records will be a great milestone someday, but in the meantime, this is a collision of trajectories, of the journeys of those disciplines. We have to keep our eyes on technology, since it will both drive and assist changes in whatever discipline we pursue. Here's the second piece of commencement advice from me. Don't let tunnel vision take the journey and joy out of your journey. Let art, music, reading, and interpersonal relationships keep your mind fresh and your personality bright. Focus on your goal and dream, but budget special time for healthy diversions. Use that time well and enjoy. Thirdly, remember that you have already embarked on a lifelong journey. On that journey, your milestones will not tell you how many miles you must travel to reach your destination. Your milestones will be special events and happenings that will mark your progress. You can even plan for certain of those milestones on your journey. Because your journey is unique to you, I say set a few of those future milestones for yourself and enjoy every one of them on your travel. So choose your dream wisely and follow it. Don't get fixated on the target to the exclusion of everything else. And finally, recognize, embrace, and enjoy every milestone on your journey when you can. For right now, enjoy every moment of this day and this week. You have earned the accolades and congratulations that you will receive. My congratulations on your achievement, because this is one of your greatest milestones in your journey. As I conclude, I would like to wish an early happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the audience, and especially my mother who is listening online, and say hello to my brother Larry and family in Stewart, my daughter Michelle and family in Nashville, my son Brian and family from Kansas City, and my wife Renee who's in the audience. Thank you and God bless.